What's real about it is that everything is already here. It's already available. It's already in front of us. We just have to release the blocks, the presence of joy and love within us, so that we can allow it to come into fruition. That's it. That's it. So I have a very exciting topic for you tonight, something that is resonating with me very deeply at the moment, and I'm really excited to just dive right in with you. Before we begin, as you know, I always like to open my talks now with this beautiful mantra, which is the mantra for protection. And it's a Kundalini mantra, and when you chant it 3 times, you can trust that whatever comes up for you in a room like this will be totally cool. You'll be completely held, you'll be totally safe, and that it's okay to explore whatever emotions need to come through, because these are the rooms that we do that in. Do we get that? And how many of you need to do that? I do. Yes. So there's sacred places like this where we can allow that stuff to come through, come up, and move out, and we want to be held and protected in that. So we open with this beautiful Adi mantra, and if you know it and you're a spirit junkie in the house, please welcome to chant along with me, and if you want to make up the words, you can. So let's just take a moment, closing your eyes, and take a deep breath in, honoring any feelings of anxiety or discomfort or tension, and just allowing yourself to be present in even excitement, whatever is coming up for you, whatever emotion is showing up for you tonight. Listening to the rain on the roof. How lucky we are to listen to the rain on the roof. Take a deep breath in and honor that feeling, whatever it may be. Excitement, pain, sorrow, frustration, anxiety masked as excitement. Whatever it is, just breathe into it, and on the exhale, just let it go. Let it wash away with the rain. Honoring that space within you, honoring what you came here for. Honoring your desire to bust through those blocks, honoring that place within you that is just so ready to let it all go. Take a deep breath in and really honor that desire to let it go. And on the exhale, one more deep breath in. Honor that deep desire to let it go and release. And take one last deep belly breath in. And release. And when you're ready, open your eyes. About 7 months ago, I was in New York City in a tiny little yoga studio, Golden Bridge Yoga, on the second day of what was a 7-day prenatal yoga teacher training. And I'm mat to mat to mat to mat to mat, up in it with these pregnant ladies. And we all got our turbans on and our white outfits and our perfect mala beads, and we are ready to learn prenatal Kundalini yoga. And I was ready, and I was excited, and I was committed to whatever it was that was going to come through in this week. I had been looking forward to it. It had been in my calendar for months. This was my time to really learn and expand my Kundalini horizons. So we're in the beginning of a Kriya with an exercise called keep-ups. And if you know anything about Kundalini yoga, it's often very difficult. So here we are, and our arms are in the air. Keep up. Keep up. About 3 minutes in, Gurmukh, my teacher, decides to tell us this will be an 11-minute process. Keep up. Keep up. And a few minutes in, I'm like, awesome. I'm going to get my Madonna arms. This is working. Keep up, keep up. About 4 minutes in, I'm like, this is kind of hurting me. I'm not really into this. Keep up, keep up, keep up. About 5 minutes in, I start getting really crazy. You have way too much work to do, Gabby. How can you sit here for the next 7 days? How are you going to run your business on this fucking yoga mat? Keep up. Keep up. Keep up. How are you going to get through it all? How are you going to make it happen? How are you going to make it happen? How are you going to make it happen? How are you going to be productive? How are you going to get things done? How are you going to make it happen? Keep up, Gabby. Keep up, keep up, keep up, keep up. And the mind goes on and on and on, and the chaos gets crazier and crazier and crazier, and we're nearing 9 minutes, 10 minutes, 11 minutes. Keep up, keep up, keep up. We drop to the mat. We're done with the keep ups. My head hits the mat, and I burst into tears. Breakdown. A few minutes later, I start to notice this strange tingling in my left arm, and I start to feel it all the way down the side of my body and down through my leg. The tingling progressively gets worse and worse and worse and worse, and I start freaking out. Something is desperately wrong with me. I'm feeling this scary tingling through my body. I let a day go by, and it's still there, and it's progressively getting worse. I feel it in my foot, I feel it in my arm, and now I begin to feel it in my face. So the whole left side of my face is numb. My entire left side of my body is numb. I can't, it's like if you put a pin in me, you couldn't feel it. I start going into complete terror. I go to the hospital that night. I see a doctor immediately. They tell me very, very many scary possibilities of what could be happening to me, and I go into a complete terror state. I then go into 4 MRIs, and I go home completely fearing what this diagnosis is going to be, in total terror. Not going back to the yoga teacher training. I'm completely freaked out. There's something deeply wrong with me. Everyone in the yoga teacher training is like, just get some acupuncture. And I'm like, there is something wrong with me. Thank God my doctor was an angel, and she called me that night. Is actually right as I came out of a meditation, I see on my phone, it says 11:11, the moment that you know you are being held. 11:11 p.m. My cousin works at the hospital, so the doctor called me at 11:11 p.m. I got hooked up. She gives me a ring, and she gets on the phone. She says, listen, everything's fine. Nothing is showing up wrong. Your blood work's fine. Your MRIs are fine. You're good. But I'm just wondering why this happened to you. And you had said in our conversation that everything was good in your life, so this doesn't really make any sense to me. What's wrong? Why is this happening to you? And I said, listen, I don't know, but I'm so relieved everything's okay. Let me just go back to my life and I'll figure out what it is. And so I find myself very grateful, relieved, thrilled that I am not having some physical problem that I was so deeply afraid of, but at the same time, horrified by the fact that something like this could happen to my physical being, and I don't know why. I'm looking at my life and I'm thinking, everything's working, everything's great. I've got this lovely husband that I adore. I've got this business that I love. I'm just wrapping up my 5th book and writing about love and miracles and how the universe has your back. All is good. What's up? What's wrong? My logical mind wasn't able to come to any conclusions. So I sat my ass down on my meditation pillow and I asked for an answer. I asked for what's up? Why did my body respond in this way? What is going on? Within moments, I heard a very loud, authoritative, intuitive voice come through me, and that voice said to me, "This is your resistance to love." I go, this is it. This is what I've been studying for the past decade as a metaphysician. This is what I've been teaching on the stages for 10 years. Here I am, face plant, right in front of the resistance, right in front of my ego. This is my resistance to love. This is the number one block to our happiness, is not the issues that we think we have, but it's the blocks to the presence of love within us. It's the resistance to the presence of love within us. It's the resistance to the light. It's the resistance to the magnitude. It's the resistance to our receptivity, our awesomeness, our expansiveness, our attractiveness, our power. Our only problem is that we resist love. That's what we're here to talk about tonight. Just when you think things get good, your resistance will come right back in. Your resistance might show up in unique ways, and maybe it's you're in that romantic relationship and you start sabotaging that relationship because you're afraid that if they leave you, you'll die. Or maybe your resistance is a little bit like mine, where you wake up in the morning and there's like one crazy story that's just in your brain and it just won't stop, it won't stop, it won't stop. And then you fix that issue. And then some other crazy story comes into your brain and then that issue just takes over and it takes residence in your story. And then you fix that issue and then another ridiculously insane story takes over and you just get into that story and you become chaotically crazy all day long. Anybody familiar with this? Resistance. We resist in so many different ways. We resist through attack thoughts and judgment and separation and jealousy. Whenever we're looking at somebody else and saying, oh, they suck, or they've got this and I should have that, or I'm not good enough, or making fun of someone or attacking them or putting them down or gossiping, resistance to love, resistance to oneness, resistance to light. Your only problem is your resistance to love. I hope you're enjoying this show, and if you want to get more Gabby, you can click the link below, subscribe to my Dear Gabby podcast on Apple, be the first to know when the episodes drop because they come out 1 week before the video, and you can download it to your phone, listen to it while you're driving, while you're cooking, while you're working out. You can just get more Gabby wherever you are, and if you feel called, leave a review. I'd love to hear from you. Now let's get back to this episode. Love, happiness, joy is your true nature. It's who we are. We just forgot. I have dedicated my life, my career, my own personal journey and purpose to just getting on these stages 1 week at a time to remind you that we forgot. Because it's our journey here in these bodies at this time to be in the experience of unlearning all those resistance stories, unlearning all the fear, unlearning all the chaos, unlearning all the judgment, so that we can remember how amazing it is to dwell in peace, how wonderful it is to choose joy, how amazing it is to say, I want to forgive. I don't want to carry that grievance anymore. I don't want to hang on to this anymore. That's how we bust through the blocks. We bust through the blocks not by trying to seek for love, but by removing everything that is in the way of the presence of love that's already within us. Are you ready for that? Is anybody walking around sort of feeling like, I'm doing all these things, I'm hamster in a wheel, I'm going from this thing to the next thing, this thing to the next thing, but I just don't really know what I'm doing it all for? Anybody with me on that? I need your help, people. Tell me I'm not alone. Anybody feeling just like pain every day? My hand's up. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I don't think we realize the pain we're in because we move so fast. We move so fast so we don't have to feel that pain. We think so fast so that we don't have to feel that pain. We talk so fast, we eat so fast, we drink so fast, we just go because we don't want to realize that we're in pain. I've only really since December realized I've been in pain for 36 years. And it's painful. It's painful because really living in that separation from love, living in that resistance is just so devastating. Unconsciously, we feel guilty because we know that that's not our true nature. We feel alone, we feel separate, we feel judged, we feel attacked, we feel like everybody else has it under control, but we don't. And we create the blocks and the blocks and the blocks that we build up against that presence of love because we become so faithful in the presence of fear. We've saved our faith for fear. And in effect, we forgot about the love that we have that's within us. And so I really want to be very vulnerable with you tonight and very open with you tonight and share stories of my own experience that have been coming up for me, because the truth is that if I don't get real with you, then you can't remember that this is real for you too. We're all in it together. We're all in it together. We all have the same problem and we all have the same solution. We all have the same problem, which is that we separated from love, and we all have the same solution, which is that we can return. So tonight, for the sake of this evening, let's just open our hearts to what that means, that each and every one of us in this room, while one person may have a certain outfit on that you think is really cool, or one person might be the owner of Wanderlust, or one person might be the event planner, we're actually all in it together. We're all suffering, and we all have the same solution. And even if you're like, I'm actually really happy, I don't really know what the hell she's talking about. Anybody with me on that? You probably wouldn't be here if that was the case. Let me just face it, I don't think we know anyone that's just walking around perfectly content. You can't, living in the times that we're in, I mean, no matter how awesome everything is lined up in your life and how perfect everything is, just being alive at this time, you're the effect of all the dramas that are going on in the world. There's just no way that you can't feel the effect of what's going on in this world. So while no matter how strong your mental and spiritual condition may be, you're still going to experience the hit of what's happening. So what do? We strengthen that spiritual condition. The level of our happiness will be a direct reflection of the level of our spiritual condition. So I have several steps that I want to take you through that are designed to help you bust through these blocks. And they're beautiful lessons that I've been applying regularly in my own life, so that as these blocks are presented to me each day, I have a tool to bring to them so that I don't become them. So that I don't think they are me. So I don't start to believe that my life is chaotic, or believe that I am incomplete, or believe that I am out of control and crazy, but instead realize, no, that is my resistance to love, and I have a way out. I have a way out. The first way out is something actually that I've been studying for quite some time, but it's something that I read recently. And you know, sometimes you could be like a student of something for a decade, and then all of a sudden you pick up the book and you're like, holy shit, that's good. That happened to me the other day. I was reading a book by one of my favorite teachers, Kenneth Wapnick, who's passed, but he's still my teacher in a big way. And Ken was really referencing and quoting A Course in Miracles. And he was talking about how in the Course, there is this lesson about being grateful, this is just me paraphrasing, being grateful for the tough stuff. Here's the line. We should be grateful for all situations that make us most uncomfortable, because without them, we could not know there is something unhealed in us. Be grateful for the situations that are the most uncomfortable, because without them, we could not know that there is something unhealed in us. Woo! That was so major for me. I just thought to myself, thank you. Thank you. It's okay that I am in pain. It's okay that I'm in this place of suffering. It's okay that maybe for the past year I was going through a dark night of the soul and I didn't even realize it. It's okay, Gabby, because you know what? This is divine. This experience of discomfort, this experience of pain is forcing you to see what is hidden. If we do not see what is hidden, the Course says something along the lines of like, do not be afraid of what is hidden. Be afraid of its hiddenness. So be afraid of why you're hiding. Be afraid of the fact that you cannot see it. And so our work is to begin tonight by saying thank you to all the crazy. Thank you to the chaotic stories. Thank you to the discomfort. Thank you to the addiction. Thank you to the lover who left. Thank you to the disease that you've been afraid of. Thank you to the difficult circumstances that you may not have been able to wrap your head around or understand why me. Instead, say thank you for presenting to me the hidden parts of my shadow that I still need to see. Does that make you feel good? It makes me feel really good. I was having a conversation yesterday with one of my really dear, dear friends, actually like a little sister to me. And her father died a few days ago, pretty surprisingly. And she called me in tears, just gutted. And she said, you know, Gabby, he came to me in the middle of the night, and I could have sworn he was there. I swear I felt him. And he said, everything's going to be okay. Take care of your mother. And I knew that he was with me. He was right beside me. And then I woke up, and I just, it's crazy. I shouldn't even be thinking that way. I said, honey, you're a spirit junkie. This is what you believe in. This is what you've been sitting in my classrooms for 5 years learning. This is the time more than ever that you say yes to that faith. And through about a 30-minute conversation, we started to really come to a beautiful beautiful representation of what it might be in front of her, what might be being presented in front of her, an opportunity of sorts, where she could potentially begin to see this horrific, life-changing, probably one of the most difficult experiences she'll ever have in this lifetime. But instead, she can begin to reframe it and see it as an opportunity to begin to strengthen her faith in a way that she never could have before. Establish a relationship with her father in a way that she never could have before. And she got off the phone and she said, I feel really good and I need to stay connected to this conversation because I know that this is what will get me through it. And I said, this is what will get you through your life. Not just this situation, but your life. And so by no means was I in any way suggesting that she not go through the necessary grieving that we go through when we have a loss, but that she continue each day to ground herself in the awareness that the pain and suffering that she's feeling will also be the catalyst to her greatest spiritual knowing. And so we may have a loss of that magnitude that we can apply these principles to, or maybe we have just a loss of a job or a loss of an identity. Whatever it is that's up for each and every one of us is deeply wounding, and whatever it is, we have to honor. And this first step is being grateful for what's up so that we can uncover and discover the hidden parts of our shadow that we are unwilling to see. Are you ready for that? Right on. Good. So this next step is a little lighter, and it's a beautiful step. And the step is give off the right signal. When we're walking around feeling blocked, it's not because the universe hates us or because we suck or because there's something wrong with us specifically. It's because we're just giving off the wrong vibration. We're just giving off the wrong signal. And if you're in a room like this, there's a part of you that believes in this, that has a faith in some way that what you feel, you will create. And so many of us are walking around thinking, okay, well, when I have that thing, then I'm going to be happy. But really, when I'm happy, I'll have that thing. It's far different, right? When we are happy, when we are in the energy of joy, when we are in the energy of light and love and magnitude and peace and grace, that is when we begin to experience the receptivity that is available to us, that's in our awareness, that's in our consciousness, that we can attract into our life in any given moment. But the blocks that we're here to talk about tonight, those blocks are just really merely a reflection of the vibration that we're in. I was walking around in a story of, if I'm not productive, I am not alive. Anybody relates? I see some people in the front going, mm-hmm. If I am not productive, I am not alive. Take that in. And I think I've been living with this belief since I was born. I came out 2 weeks early. I was like, let's go! My mom was like, this baby's ready. So, and it's also behavior that we learn. I mean, my mom carries that behavior. I've learned it from her. And actually, it's honestly the key to my success. But it's going to be but it will no longer be. It may be the key to any success I've experienced to date because I just was moving and going and multitasking and making things happen. But it can no longer be sustainable. It's not sustainable. It's not the being. It's not the vibration that I want to be in. If I'm not productive, I'm not alive. If I'm not productive, it won't get done. How much does that suck? Because it's all on me. So do you want to know my new mantra? It's so good. Everything is happening around me. I am fully taken care of. Everything is happening around me, and I am fully taken care of. And last night I came home from this dinner with my girlfriends, and I was just buzzing from the dinner, and I was like, when you want to go to bed, but you're just high from the party? Not from that party, but high on your own supply. And I was quite psyched about just feeling jazzed up about my LA posse and just feeling really good about myself and having a good high from my friends. And I got into bed and I couldn't fall asleep, so I took it to the YouTube. And I get on YouTube and I start just following whatever was coming up for me, whatever YouTube wanted me to watch. And my YouTube likes me to watch ghosts and metaphysical people. And so I land on the Abraham Hicks and Esther Hicks channeling the Abrahams. And if you're not familiar, she channels these entities that talk about the law of attraction. And then a video came up that was about the Abrahams channeling Dr. Dyer. And I was like, oh shit, this is good. I gotta watch this one. So I turned on, and Wayne Dyer was one of my dearest friends and my mentor. And I gotta tell you guys, I am much closer to him now. I have some crazy stories. And so last night was one of them. It's one of those like bootleg videos where somebody was like recording it in the audience and puts it up on YouTube. And they put this beautiful image of Wayne, just like with a black backdrop and just his gorgeous face. And here he was, and his eyes were like piercing at me. It was like those meditations where you just stare at the guru, you know? And so here I am, and I'm just like watching Wayne on this like random screen, just staring at his face while the Abrahams channel Wayne. And he's like, hey guys, I know you're not gonna wanna hear this, but it's a lot better here. And he goes on and on and on to just really reiterate all the things that he came here in the physical body to teach us. If you believe it, you will see it. And that when you flow in the vibrational frequency of joy and love, then the universe totally has your back. And I just heard all the things I know when I preach, but I just heard them in a new way because Wayne was guiding me on YouTube to watch him and listen to him that night. It was just a gentle reminder that we have to choose what we want to focus on. What are we choosing to focus on every single day? For 36 years, I've been choosing to focus on the fact that if I'm not productive, I won't be alive. That if I'm not productive, then I'm dead. Then productivity is greater than God. This is a limiting belief that I was focusing on, whether I didn't even realize it. And so what do I want to focus on right now? I want to focus on this energy of everything is happening around me. I'm fully taken care of. Can you see how good that feels to me? Can you feel like how open that is for me? Everything is happening around me. I'm fully taken care of. And so when you have this desire, the next step, I think, is to really lean into finding ways in your life that you can find spiritual proof of what it feels like to be in that desire. And if you don't have it yet, then just even simply saying it out loud begins to feel good, like what I just did. Saying it out loud to me, that feels good to me. And so part of it was at first just walking around telling people, I am fully taken care of. Everything is happening around me. I actually got on the stage tonight and they were like handing me the microphone and moving the tables. And I was like, everything is happening around me. And my girlfriends upstairs were like, no, you should wear that dress. And I was like, I will wear whatever you tell me because everything is happening around me. This is unlike the OCD crazy lady that maybe would have been here a month ago. It's new. So you start to pick up on, what does it feel like for me to be around the energy of everything is happening around me and I'm fully taken care of? And so I started to lean into that, and I said, oh, well, when I'm with my friend Annette, who is my event planner, who takes care of these events and travels with me to different cities and has been with me as my coaching client almost a decade ago, and then my volunteer at my events because she's like, I think you need some help. And then finally I was like, I think I need to pay you. And she's become one of my best friends in the whole world. And the energy that Annette embodies for the people that she loves and the people that she chooses to support is an energy of everything is taken care of and everything is happening around you. And so I know what that feeling is because I have it, because it is in this one area of my life. I can taste it. I know the feeling. I know I know the experience and the expression of that feeling of I am taken care of. I'm going to put on my dress and hold a microphone. And all of you are going to feel good. You're going to be in your seats. Everybody's happy. Nothing is going wrong because it is taken care of. So because I have this spiritual proof and I have this beautiful friend that has given me the gift of knowing what that desire feels like, I can choose to lean into that feeling in the areas of my life where that feeling doesn't occur naturally. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh my God, I have 1,000 emails to send and so-and-so's not getting back to me and I don't know if this person's not taking the lead and blah, blah, blah. I can say, I'm gonna choose deliberately to lean into the feeling of what it feels like to be at Wanderlust with Annette. I'm going to deliberately choose to lean into that feeling, and that feeling can clear the block to the presence of the support that is already available to me now. This is it, guys. We know it, we hear it, it sounds woo-woo, we write about it on Instagram, and we post really cute quotes. Let's get real about it. Let's get real about it. What's real about it is that everything is already here. It's already available. It's already in front of us. We just have to release the blocks, the presence of joy and love within us so that we can allow it to come into fruition. That's it. That's it. We have to clear the blocks. So this next step in clearing the blocks is just really dwelling, knowing, okay, I get it. It feels really good in that space. It feels good to say this out loud. And I'm going to make deliberate commitment each day to dwell in that energy of peace and the experience of feeling taken care of. If I don't do that, what is happening? I am manifesting the opposite. I am manifesting the opposite. And so I want you to think about the desire that you have. What is the block that you want to really release so that you can have this? What is it that I need to release so that I can have the freedom to be Gabby, so I can have the freedom to be Anne-Marie, so I can have the freedom to be Bridget, so I can have the freedom to be who I want to really be? So what is it that you're ready to release? And then what is the desire feeling? What is the desire of the experience that you want to call into your life? And let's choose it. Making a commitment each day to choose to lean into the desire that you want, to lean into the experience that you want, rather than unconsciously choosing the opposite, because ultimately that's what we're all doing. Can you see kind of clearly how you may be unconsciously just making yourself crazy? Yes. Everybody with me on that? And consciously choosing the opposite. One of the powerful tools that I've been using lately to consciously choose the opposite is really actually just breathing my way out. Because sometimes you're so stuck in that fear story, so stuck in that drama, so stuck in that disbelief that you can't get out. So there's a meditation I've been using that I'm going to teach you right now called Dealing with Your Own Mind. Dealing with your own mind. Because it's really the stories in our mind that take us into that place of I am not supported. I need to be productive to be alive. Whatever your story is the ego belief system that you hook into and get lost in. One of the fastest ways out, obviously, is through prayer, through intention, through redirecting your focus. But I want to get real here, which is a lot of us maybe sometimes could be so stuck in that limiting belief, in that limitation, in that fear, that the only way we can get out is through some kind of radical energetic shift. If you like this video and you want to get more Gabby, check out the next one right over here.